sort of very similar themes. So what I'm going to say, though, is what I'm going to present, this will not improve your students' performance in a 30-mark question or help you to teach the case study about the earthquake in Turkey. This is the antithesis of exam boards and specifications and teaching to the test. This is about education that builds the health and happiness of people as a part of nature, not apart from nature. Now, over the last 140 years, we've seen a 1 degree Celsius rise in sea surface temperatures, which have resulted in an increase in the intensity and frequency of extreme weather events and sea level rise at a rate of 3.3 millimeters per year at current rates. The rate of this change is unprecedented. The last 10 years have been the hottest on record, and 2020 is set to continue that trend. Now, coronavirus is again another symptom of what I'm going to talk about, and there is a growing base of evidence to suggest it is the relationship between people and nature which is at the heart of what we're experiencing. Now, the temperature rise that you can see in this diagram, this is the warming stripes from Ed Hawkins from the University of Reading, going from 1850 to the present day, and it shows you that warming trend. This temperature rise is caused by an increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that are caused by humans burning fossil fuels and releasing carbon dioxide. There is 100% of scientific evidence that supports climate change is happening, and it is human induced. It is humans who are causing this anthropogenic climate change. Carbon dioxide concentrations have never been this high whilst humans have existed on planet Earth. Now, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, and in the short periods humans have been around, we have changed the world on a global scale. We now live in the age of humans, the Anthropocene. Now, the science is clear. We are facing an unprecedented global emergency. We must act now. These are the words of Dr. Emily Grossman, who has compiled the best summary of the science around the planetary emergency. This is a list of some of its contents. And this is the document that all teachers should go to. So in terms of keeping up to date on the current science around the climate crisis, this is the document. So these words as well, though, these 3 sentences, what they do is emphasize how the language we use is fundamental. And I'm sure all of us as teachers know that the way that we communicate something and the choice of words is really important. But I can't emphasize that enough, that far too often we talk about something like the climate crisis in a distant sense or in an othering. And it's really important that we communicate the urgency and the agency that is needed to respond. Now, many of the ideas that I'm talking about now have been developed whilst reading these sorts of books, so from Mark Maslin, Simon Lewis, as well as Mike Berners-Lee, and all of these books are essential reading. Now, did you know there are now more plastic Lego mini figures than humans in the world? All the plastic ever created still exists, except for a tiny bit that's been burnt. But plastic just breaks down into smaller and smaller microscopic pieces. Plastic is in the air that we breathe, the food we eat, and our blood. We have shifted the balance of nature. 67% of land mammals are our livestock reared for humans and their pets. Colonialism and colonization and the mass slavery of people is a reflection of our attitude of human dominance. At the heart of climate change is the idea of inequality, And we can't respond to climate change without tackling inequality. This is all interlinked. What I've just outlined there is some of the evidence as to why we exist within the Anthropocene. Now, here is a list of some of the most effective actions we as a society can take to respond to this climate emergency. Now, globally, teaching is the largest profession, and our influence goes far beyond our classrooms. Schools are a catalyst to communities and wider society, and the words you use in the classroom will find their way to the dinner table. Yes, geography teaches climate change, but we can't be doing it right if we're still in this situation. Geography, and radical geography, has the lens to evaluate the world around us and provide some of the answers. Now, our future is not set. There are multiple climate futures, and we choose the future. Now, we face a crisis of imagination, and we must help society think beyond business as usual to create the future we want. The scale of the emergency we face requires a dramatic shift to teach for the Anthropocene, and this is a call to action.